Saul! Better Call Saul just finished its first season. I'm pretty sure it's already committed to going to a second season. It's the spin-off of Breaking Bad, and it tells the story of Saul Goodman. Or as his real name is, it was, you discover in the show, Jimmy McGill. It starts before Breaking Bad, before there even is a Saul Goodman, in the same city, Albuquerque, New Mexico. And it tells the story of Jimmy McGill, who is this very small-time lawyer trying to work his way up, honestly. The purpose of the show is to give you a look, is to show you the journey of Jimmy McGill, of where he starts to how he ends up in Better Call Saul. Breaking Bad for Saul Goodman was point B. Better Call Saul is point A, and throughout the series we're going to see how he gets from A to B. Overall, I thought it was a good season. I thought it was a good show. I enjoyed watching it. I looked forward to every episode, but ultimately there were two things for me, one that worked and one that didn't work. What didn't work for me, it didn't feel like the series was building towards anything. It just felt like a day in the life backstory of Jimmy McGill, Saul Goodman. It was, he did a few cases, he had a few big cases, he worked his way up from the bottom to, trying to work his way up the lawyer corporate ladder. But overall, it didn't build towards anything. With episode 1 of Breaking Bad, by the end of it, we knew what the conflict was, who the characters were, how they were going to solve the conflict. We knew what this show was about. We didn't really know entirely what the show was about, except that it was about Jimmy McGill. But we didn't know exactly what he was trying to do. We didn't know what exactly his motivations were. It was just kind of a day in the life. And they were very interesting days in the life. But I don't know if I'm making sense. Just, to me, watching it, I didn't feel like it was building to anything. And I'm not saying the episodes were bad. All of the episodes were good. Some were definitely better. There was one episode in particular that was the backstory of Mike. That was amazing. It was by far the best episode of the season. But overall, most of the episodes were just, they were good. They were okay. They just weren't... That's the best way I can think to put it, is that they weren't building towards anything. And I need that in a show. Like, I need to know, why am I watching this? Why am I watching this story? Why is this story important to this character? Why am I watching it? Why is it worth watching? What's the payoff going to be? And I didn't really feel that. Now, as for what does work, the characters themselves. They didn't have too many characters, but they also didn't have too little characters. They had the Goldilocks of characters. It was just right. Hopefully that metaphor makes sense. All of the characters were so fleshed out and so individual. You really got to know who they were, what they wanted to do, what their motivations were. You knew who these characters were, and they were so fleshed out, and it was so good to see all these individual characters working together and coming with each other. There was one character in particular that I wish they had used more of, and that was the character of Nacho, who was kind of the criminal to bring Jimmy, to inch him closer to the criminal world. And he was such an interesting character. He was, if you remember Tuco from the first and second seasons of Breaking Bad, who was, the crazy drug kingpin. Tuco was in the first and second episodes of Better Call Saul. Nacho is kind of his second in command. And while Tuco is dangerous like a shotgun, Nacho was like a sniper rifle. He was dangerous, he knew what to say, he knew what not to say, he knew what to do, he knew how to handle things. I mean, this guy could just stand there not saying a word and intimidate the hell out of you. So I wish they had used more of him, but they used him in the beginning, and then he kind of showed up in the end, and they gave some exposition about him. So hopefully he's going to play a bigger part in the second season. So I really want to see more of that character. All the characters were just so well developed, so good. So I'm hoping in season 2 that now that we've gotten all the backstory out of the way, we can start getting more of what's going on in the plot and feel like it's building towards something, and get more of these characters, get more of Nacho, get more of get more of Jimmy McGill becoming Saul Goodman, because Jimmy McGill is not Saul Goodman. They are two completely different characters. And it's obvious to see that when you're watching it, that Jimmy McGill is not Saul Goodman. Even when Jimmy McGill is running cons, which he does every now and then, he's not Saul Goodman. He has to get to that point where he is Saul Goodman. So hopefully in season 2 we'll see a lot more of that. We'll see a lot of the characters, and I'll feel like season 2 is building towards something. What did you think of it? Let me know in the comments. Follow me on all the internets, and subscribe to my channel so you can get out some more. Until then, have fun. He's played by Bob. Thanks for watching. Now, please leave me alone so I can go back to watching Daredevil. So Captain America, Thor, Hulk.